Everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Brian and or
Pat,
Good morning, Judy.
good
Good
morning.
morning, Patrick.
Morning, Bhante. Good morning,
Morning,
Brian.
everyone.
Good morning.
Oh,
Morning, Bhante. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning. Okay, let us begin. May all beings be happy and secure. May all beings have happy minds. Whatever living beings there may be, without exception, weak or strong, long, large, medium, short, subtle or gross, visible or invisible, living near or far, born or coming to birth, may all beings have happy minds. Let no one deceive another, nor despise anyone anywhere. Neither from anger nor ill will should anyone wish harm to another. As a mother would risk her own life to protect her only child, even so towards all living beings, one should cultivate a boundless heart. One should cultivate for all the world a heart of boundless loving friendliness, above, below, and all around, unobstructed, without hate or resentment, whether standing, walking, sitting, lying down, or whenever awake. One should develop this mindfulness, this called divinely dwelling here, not falling into erroneous views, but virtuous and endowed with vision, removing desires for sensual pleasures. One comes never again to birth in the womb. With this metta thought, let us spend the rest of our time in practicing meditation. As we focus mind on the breathing, we notice the breath touching our nostrils, reaching our lungs, expanding lung area, and expanding lower abdomen. When we breathe out, lower abdomen contracts, lungs area contracts, the breath leaves the nostrils. These are invariable functions of breathing. Then we notice our feelings, perceptions, thoughts, consciousness, all rise and fall along with our breathing, much faster than breath, however, they change. When they change and appear and disappear, mind gets so used to that appearance and disappearance and realize that there is no moment to hold on to any of them. So let this happen. This way we let go of our clinging, craving or desire for holding on to anything. Then the body, mind, breath relax. When they all relax, in the relaxed state, we experience very deep sense of loving friendliness. Along with arises compassion. When compassion arises, restlessness and worry fades away. When they fade away, the mind becomes even calmer than before. Then more energy arises actually. This is not a physical energy, but more enthusiasm, deeper interest in continuing the practice. Then sleepiness and drowsiness fade away. When they fade away, we see the results of our practice. These steps happen in our mind, and mind can become fully aware of the benefit. Then confidence arises, doubt fades away. And that's when this happens, there arises a moment of joy, happiness, which Buddha mentioned in at least in several places. Yato yato sammasati khandanam udayabhyam labhati piti paramujjam. When we see rise and fall, we experience joy. To see the reality, seeing reality brings joy. That leads to tranquility, passaddhi, calm state. That leads to happiness. Happy state of mind is more calm, more peaceful, and then leads to concentration. When we gain concentration, we see deepest level of changes, impermanence, that even make us more calm, relaxed and peaceful, and let go of the notion of permanent self. Now let us see how this happens in our practice. dukkhappata ca niddukkha, bhayappata ca nibbhaya, sokappata ca nissoka, hontu sabbe pipanino. May the suffering being free from suffering. May the fear-struck be free from fear. May the grieving be free from grief. So too may all beings be. With this metta thought in mind, let us try to focus mind on our Dhamma talk on Bojjhanga. Bojjhanga is Bodhi Anga, limb of attaining liberation. Now, this can be practiced in two levels, mundane level and supramundane level. When we practice mundane level and when we come to the peak of mundane level, then we begin the supramundane level practice. What is the difference between mundane level and supramundane level? Mundane level begins in Pali, sāsava punya bhagya upadivepakka. Sāsava means with asava. Sa asava becomes sāsava, with asava. What are the asavas? Kāmasava, bhavasava, avidyasava, ditthasava. What does asava mean? Influx, flow. So, ordinarily people who have are not liberated have these asavas. Why they have asavas? Kāmasava means influx of desire for sensual pleasures through the senses. And bhavasava means influx of desire to exist in samsara. Avidyasava is ignorance, and ditthasava is wrong views. Ordinarily people have these asavas. So we cannot wait until all the asavas are completely eliminated to practice Bojjhanga. Bojjhanga practice directly brings us to the liberation from samsara. Of course, that has to be done gradually, and we cannot wait until all our asavas are finished to begin the practice of Bojjhanga. And therefore, anybody who is interested in liberating from suffering should start the Bojjhanga or factors of enlightenment factor. We list them later on, these 7 or 37 factors. So, just like practicing morality, one does not or cannot wait until all morality is perfect, moral life is perfect. Similarly, while these influxes are still in mind, one begins the practice. Therefore, that person begins the practice with asava, influxes. This goes sasava. Then the next is punya bhagya. Punya means merits. Punya is the mental state that promotes our life in pleasure, happiness, joy, and therefore it is called punya. It is not skill, but it is meritorious, wholesome. That's wholesome. So, with wholesome state of mind, one practicing the factors of enlightenment itself is wholesome. So, the person has asavas and then has a desire to accumulate merits to have a better life. Then upadivepaka. Upadi means clinging, holding, and that practice belongs to the area of category of holding. And yet the practice is the factors of enlightenment. So that gives the wide opening for anybody in any situation, in any status of life to begin the practice. I think that's a very positive note, optimistic note that we have to keep in mind. I think Buddha is so compassionate to say this because people might feel that they are intimidated by the purity and the loftiness of these factors of enlightenment. In order to avoid this intimidation, feeling of intimidation, Buddha said, yes, you all can practice. With all these weaknesses, you can practice. And then the other level is called supramundane level. Supramundane level is a totally different level. Practice is more pure and clean. It says it is based upon seclusion. Viveka nisitang, based upon seclusion. Seclusions I mentioned at one time, 3 types of seclusion. Viveka, kaya viveka, chitta viveka, upadhi viveka. Kaya viveka means physical viveka. Viveka means normally we say rest. Of course, in Pali, whenever we want to take rest, we can use the word viveka. Viveka means rest. Just relax. And viveka can be obtained in seclusion. Seclusion also has qualities, and seclusion is described and has 5 kinds of qualities. 5 qualities. What is this? Appasadda, less noise. It has been less noise to have a full rest. Appanighosa, and less, various sounds like somebody said cacophony. All talk, many people, like market, fish market. People are all in a, what do you call, auctioning place. So many people are there making noise. So without that, then without human movements, that also can disturb your rest. Then they may move here and there fast, and they may move furniture here and there and rearrange the room and so forth. These movements of human, vijanavata. Then manusaraha seya. Manusaraha seyaka means being suitable for hiding away from human beings. All these can disturb our rest. Then Patisallana Sarupani. Patisallana Sarupa means suitable for quiet practice of meditation. These are the qualities of seclusion. And then Viveka Nishitanga. And then it also based on Viraga Nishita. Viraga means clinging, attachment, based on detachment. Viraga Nishitang. One must not be engaged in various activities that can make the person attached to those activities. So then Nirodha Nisitang. Nirodha is also based on cessation. The person let go of whatever arises. Whatever arises passes away. Whatever arises passes away. The person must see this reality. So the practice of Bojjhanga is also based on this understanding, so that the person can let go of the past, let go of the future, let go of all other activities that can that can hinder the practice. Nissata, the cessation. Then Vasagga Parinaming. For Vasagga Parinaming. Vasagga means abandoning, giving up. That the mind must bend upon of the results. Parinama is maturing in the letting go. So the purpose of the Bojjhanga is to let go. Therefore that practice is called Vasagga Parinaming. Now you can see the basic qualifications themselves for the practice of Bojjhanga at supramundane level are already have laid down, and the path becomes very smooth and clear. And these are the two levels. One level is mundane level, any ordinary person can practice. Other person who has developed mundane level and come to a stage, I need more of this. I have been enjoying this practice, but I want more of that. So the person determines nobody outside can certify or make him qualified to attain that state. The certification comes from oneself, one's own practice. Then one would know, now I am ready, the mind is ready to go to the other level. The person deliberately, there's no way to jump to the other level. It simply, naturally, the mind glides into the high level. Naturally glides into the high level. Uh, for instance, you are playing a game and you have various stages, beginners level, medium level, hard level, and expert level, and so forth. When you play the easier level, you can do it very quickly. Then you know your mind is ready for the next level. And you do that, and then when you know that you can do it very quickly, you are perfect in it, then you go to yourself, the next level, and so forth. This practice of Bhojjhanga also is like that. This is what is called Anupubba Kiriya, Anupubba Patipada, Anupubba Sikha, Anupubba Kiriya, Anupubba Patipada. Anupubba means gradual. Gradual training is Anupubba Sikha, gradual discipline. One disciplines gradually, and then practice gradually, and attain gradually. So, the Bhojjhangas practice like that. And then, this means we have to develop them gradually. For instance, this is a very important thing to remember. Although it is very lofty, wonderful practice, as I mentioned earlier, don't feel intimidated. You can practice it slowly. For instance, any time you practice mindfulness, mindfulness is the number one of the Bhojjhanga, factor of enlightenment. You practice mindfulness. Perhaps you have been practicing mindfulness for year, 2 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20, 30 years. You have been practicing it. So every time you practice mindfulness, that goes to the mindfulness enlightenment factor category. Say you have baskets. So whenever you practice mindfulness, then if you practice 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, you gain some insight from the practice of mindfulness, then it naturally goes into that account, goes to mindfulness account, mindfulness basket. So there is no any particular separate practice for Bhojjhanga. We normally practice mindfulness, and that practice becomes eventually a very powerful factor for you to cleanse your mind, to remove your impediments, obstructions, and then you are on the path to that final attainment. So that means you have to develop it. They don't appear in our mind automatically. We understand what they are, and we understand how to cultivate them, and then through that cultivation, the practice, gradually we attain them. Then that means they don't appear automatically or spontaneously, just like what you call breathing or so forth. Like our in a bodily cells are functioning by themselves due to the various things that need for their function. When they are there, they function. So we gradually build up our spiritual strength. When we develop our spiritual strength, that's called Kaya Bhavana, Sila Bhavana, Chitta Bhavana. Bhavana means cultivation. We cultivate the body. This is not kind of bodybuilding. That means we train the body to be disciplined. For instance, if you want to practice it in sitting, we have to train the body to sit, to stay still in one position. Then gradually we learn to discipline ourselves in our morality. Then we gradually learn to restrain our minds from getting involved in various things. Whenever we practice this in this way, slowly and gradually we become strong in our bodily practice, strong in our morality, strong in our mind, very strong. Then we build up our confidence. When we do it again and again, you all know when we try to walk as a little children, first we will be wobbling, falling, and then gradually we stand, and then slowly we manage to walk. We manage to walk forward, backward, and then we can run. We can do all sort of things with this body because we train the body gradually. Then, based on this strength, our concentration develops to maintain the practice. Then, for our concentration is a right concentration. Right concentration because Bojjhanga, one of the Bojjhangas is concentration. So we must understand the kind of concentration, the contents of concentration must be wholesome, not any kind of concentration. One can gain concentration on anything. For instance, one would be concentrating on making how to make business, how to make money, how to rob a bank, how to play a game. Like that, in those situations, people can have certain degree of concentration. But the concentration that required for this practice must be free from not only hindrances, but the greed, hatred, and delusion. And also, mind should be so deeply concentrated that it would not become just like a rock or vegetable. Still, it is working, but with deep awareness, deep clarity, purity of the mind. And that is then it becomes a factor of enlightenment. So, Buddha gave a very beautiful simile. It is sort of like a parable. It's a very beautiful one. He said, bhikkhus, based upon the Himalayas, the king of mountains, the Nagas nurture their bodies and acquire strength. Nagas are beings, legendary beings, that are considered to be living in the Himalayas. When they have nurtured their bodies and acquired strength, they then enter the pools. From the pools, they enter the lakes. Then the stream, then the rivers, and finally they enter the ocean. There they achieve greatness and experience expansiveness of the body. So too, bhikkhus, based upon virtue, sila, established upon virtue, bhikkhus develop and cultivate the 7 factors of enlightenment, and thereby they achieve greatness and experience greatness or wholesomeness in maximum. So, in other words, it's a culmination of wholesomeness. So build up their wholesomeness slowly and gradually to stand in the just like these nagas, they can stand in the pressure in the ocean, the waves in the ocean, live with other animals in the ocean because of their strength. Similarly, when one practices these factors of enlightenment, the person becomes steadier and steadier until the mind is perfectly steady without any wavering with defilements. So, this simile is a very powerful, wonderful simile. The Buddha wanted to emphasize, encourage us to practice the factors of enlightenment so that our minds we have defilements, we have asavas and so forth. As we keep practicing these factors of enlightenment, mind becomes so steady and stand any hardships, spiritual and otherwise. Friends, perhaps with this, yes. So I think I have had enough. I don't have any more time. I had enough time to complete this little talk. And I want to conclude this talk as usual with my metta wish. Friends, unfortunately, this COVID-19 seems to be getting out of hand, and we hear some vaccine have been invented, and we wish it comes soon to protect these people who are affected not because of their own faults, but because of the nature of the virus. And may they, whoever are affected, may they recover very quickly and return to their normal life to continue the Dhamma practice and realize the liberation. There are people who are supporting them, doctors, nurses, and hospital staffs with compassion and understanding. May they continue their wonderful service to help people without themselves getting infected by this virus. And there are many leaders who are very sincerely trying to contain this, stop this, weaken this, and eliminate this virus. May they continue their very sincere service to help people. And there are many generous people who are contributing their wealth in supporting these various institutes, various endeavors to curb this virus. And there are some people who have lost their loved ones. They may be grieving when one person passes away. Many people around that person, related to that person, have grief, sorrow, pain, and may they be relieved from such a grief, pain, and sorrow, and come to understand Dhamma, practice Dhamma to relieve themselves from suffering. With this metta thought, friends, I want to thank you for your participation and encouragement for us to continue this service. And we all are equally partners of this wonderful thing that we do every day, and therefore we all share the merits, and may we all attain liberation very quickly. Thank you.